Florida State, of course, has a great coach, terrific talent. They're big, they're long, they're athletic, they have shooting. And so it's just a function of them continuing to get to know one another like we're trying to get to know our team. But I thought it was a hard-fought game. I thought they made several good runs. I was proud of our guys. We were able to, continue to manufacture points and opportunities for ourselves when they were making their run. And we played with some poise down the stretch. I wanted to see if we could play with poise with a lead, and I thought we did a lot better out tonight than we did a few nights ago.
Jalen Young comes out as a leading scorer, also running the point. Kind of talk with him a little bit about that mix between trying to score as the point guard versus trying to distribute. How do you think he handled that tonight?
I think he handled it well, and in large part because as a scoring point, we have talent. And so, his job at the point is to make the guys around him better. And some nights, the way they're defending, they have a game plan like we do. They were trying to take away certain things that we did well in the previous game. And so he saw opportunities because of that, and he did the right thing. And he was able to establish a rhythm offensively, and that allowed some of our other players to start, getting in rhythm. And so I thought he really picked his spots well, and especially in the first half, we needed him to score those points, and he did. And that allowed some guys to get in rhythm, especially in the second half, like Ithiel, guys like that. Of course, Taylor continued to play well in both halves. And, guys of that nature really kind of helped us, offensively. So I thought he showed a real good balance between his offense as well as running the team.
To kind of follow up with that, is it kind of fair to say that they may have been trying to but that they kind of underestimated a little bit since Darius was out?
It's possible, but I know their program, and they know college basketball. Everybody has talent. Everybody has good players. And I know they were going to give him the same respect. They wanted to get after him the same way they would have done Darius. And I just thought he did a great job of responding, and he did a great job of, like you said, not just scoring all the time, but he ran the team. I thought in the second half he was more of a distributor. First half, the opportunities presented himself, he took them. And that's what we need from that position, someone who can recognize situations and make the appropriate plays.
Johnny, how much of an emphasis was rebounding this week? And when they lose their big guy, to injury, how much do you guys kind of turn your focus, maybe try to pound the ball a little bit inside more?
Well, definitely. And I hate to see the young man go down. I hate to see any young player go down. That's always tough. Of course, when it happened, we had a size advantage down low, and we were able to kind of throw it inside. We wanted to play inside some then. But also, I thought our guys did a good job of just playing off each other in general. I mean, our game plan, coming off the last game, we were out-rebounded in our last game. And so we were very disappointed about that, and we didn't think we defended it to the level we need to defend. I thought both areas, if you look at the stat sheet, we cleaned up tonight. We had a good game defensively, holding them to 54 points. And we did a good job rebounding the basketball, winning the battle 52-22. And those are things that we emphasized. We didn't emphasize anything offensively. We emphasized all defense coming into this game.
Coach, at some point, one of us was going to have to ask about it. What was it like watching Darren Green come into the building tonight, being the leading scorer for FSU?
It was odd. I'm so used to him being on my side shooting those shots. And of course, man, he's a great young man. He has a great family. I'm happy for Darren. If Darren's happy, I'm happy for him. Because, he gave us 3 good years. He did a great job for me. And that's really all I can say about him. But he's a class act, and, I just wish him nothing but the best.
Is there an element of relief that he only hit one of those shots from the logo?
You know what? Exactly right. But it's not like I didn't tell my players he was going to do that. They knew ahead of time. But, he's a terrific player. And, like I said, we're always rooting for him. But, here at UCF, it's about what we're trying to accomplish and what we want to do with our group. And we're excited.
Coach, you were 19-5 against in-state opponents going into tonight's game. And to get this win, just kind of talk a little bit about just how important or just how good it is to continue to get those big wins against in-state opponents.
Well, I think it's hugely important for us. It gives us an opportunity to play against some great teams. They're very talented. They're well coached. And so it gives us an opportunity to play against some high-level competition. That's the great thing about the beauty about the state of Florida. There are a lot of really good basketball teams as well. And so we like playing those teams. It gives us an opportunity to kind of see where we are, engage where we are in the preseason as we move forward. And that's what we try to do with these games.
Coach, what do you want to clean up from this game? You focused on defense last game, and it was very evident that you changed that pretty significantly. The turnovers were a little bit of a challenge on different occasions, whether it's inbounding or offensively. How do we regroup that?
Well, you have the answer right there. Exactly what you're thinking is what I'm thinking. It's a great question. We want to concentrate on turnovers. and we turn the ball over too much. And so we have to get back to some of the basic things we did in the preseason. I'll watch the film tonight, look at, some of the different turnovers and situations, whether it's out of bounds under or, sloppy on handoffs or just, passing balls to guys who aren't open. I want to try to clean that up. And so that's what we're going to focus on next. It's early. I mean, this team is 9 new guys, as I said before. We really haven't been together very long. So there's a chemistry that you have to get. And sometimes chemistry takes a little time with players to get a feel. But I know when you give a certain look that you're going to be open in a certain area. Or you see a certain way you're being guarded, I know you're going to backdoor them so I can pass it to you. These guys don't have a feel for each other like that yet because they just hadn't played enough basketball together. So we're going to continue to try to put them in those situations, continue to try to build chemistry, and we're going to keep teaching.
C.J. Walker and Ty Freeman made it back into the lineup tonight. First of all, how excited were they to play? And second, how big of an impact were they both on the floor and kind of off it as well? How much of a jolt was that for the team?
It was huge. I think our guys were so excited to have them back in practice yesterday. These guys have been gone for a while, so just to have them back and actively in practice playing live was I think a big shot in the arm for us, coming off our last game. And so that was good. And I know it's going to be an adjustment for both of those players. We know what they're capable of, but right now it's a process. You have to kind of get your sea legs back up under you. You have to get your timing back. All those things. You can, basketball is one of those, it's a funny sport. If you're out, 2 or 3 days, it takes, times 3 to get yourself back right. Can you imagine when you're out 6 weeks or a month? It takes a little, time to get back. So I give those guys, a couple weeks. They'll be rounded into who they're capable of becoming. But it's going to be a process, and I just don't want them to get frustrated because they want it so bad. They want to be great right away, and that's usually not how it works. It's usually a little bit of a process as you work your way toward getting your consistency back.
So finding those sea legs might have been part of why CJ found that foul trouble earlier.
Absolutely. Just not being in those situations. I mean, he hadn't been in those situations in 6 weeks. And as much as we can do in one practice where he's live, that's not nowhere near enough to kind of, face an opponent like, FSU. So I think he'll learn from it. I think it's a good first step for him. And he was having a great summer for us, so I'm excited to see him get back to where he was. He was playing some terrific basketball. And so, once he gets back to that level, I think that just makes us that much better.
Coach, you once said communication will be a big thing for the guys this year. And I know you just said they're still getting a little more familiar with each other on the court. But how well do you think they communicated tonight?
I thought we did a much better job communicating defensively tonight. We had a few mix-ups on Darren where we lost him a couple of times where we had some miscommunication. But by and large, I thought we did a good job. And that's something we have to have. I mean, you're not going to, do well at this level if you're not going to talk on the basketball court. It can't just be in the locker room. You have to, share energy. You have to talk to one another out there. And again, you have a bunch of guys who don't really know each other. So that conversation becomes even more important. And so that's what we're emphasizing. And we did a better job. But there's still room for improvement in that area for us.
Coach, you gave up 28 fast break points today. On Monday, you were down 18, today 19 on the fast breaks. How can you guys fix that going into Monday's game?
Well, for us, we got to be better, I think, at valuing the basketball. A lot of it was live ball turnovers. And live ball turnovers is hard to guard. We have a saying, we'd rather you kick the ball in the stands. Not literally. So we can set our defense up every time as opposed to letting guys get out and run. And so we have to do a better job of taking care of the basketball. I think it'll prevent some of those live ball turnovers and those easy runouts where they have numbers 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. Those are high percentage opportunities to score. We have to try to eliminate those.
Really quickly, Atsun had 10 rebounds tonight. May not have had as many on the boards, but what kind of an impact has he had to help, when CJ is either out with injury or, with foul trouble?
Well, no matter what, he's part of our rotation and what he does. We love his game. He's an active player. He protects our rim well. He rebounds the basketball, as you can see, on both ends. And so, with him, Durr, CJ, Taylor, it's probably one of the deepest front lines we've had since I've coached here. So we have and that's not even including Silla, who's also a young, talented big man, is 6'11", is very active, long. So I think it's probably been the deepest front line that we've had. And so we're going to, our job is to figure out how to utilize those guys to maximize them each time we can step foot on the court. But I do like the depth at that position and the productivity.
Good. All right.
You guys okay?
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys, you're welcome.